peut-être not coming out for me. I'm not married.
Come on, baby.
No, it's not possible for me.
Mina, come.
I'm so scared, Shekinah,
Oh my God. Scared?
of marriage.
Do you not want to get married?
And finally, I just said, no. Like, no more. I'm done. Literally, like, no going back done.
Uh-oh, is he leaving?
With their weddings literally hours away, things are starting to fall apart for practically every single couple. Like, at this point, I'm not sure if any of them are actually going to tie the knots. So let's kick off proceedings with arguably the most dramatic, Shawn and Alliya. So today might be their wedding day, only we're not yet sure because it's not yet certain whether or not Alliya is going to agree to sign the prenup. Shawn has made it very clear, no prenup means no wedding.
I hope that you never need to use this.
Well, that's the hope. Me too.
And just like that, after all that stress, the prenup is signed. It's official. They will, or at least they hope, that they're gonna get married today. Alliya says that she just wants to feel happy, she wants to feel loved, and she hopes that Shawn can feel confident. If signing a prenup will help to achieve this, then so be it. She's fine with that, she says. Now, Shawn's special day starts with him doing his mum's hair as Alliya leaves to get ready at the venue. But as she's leaving, Shawn begs her, begs her, please be on time for once. This wedding, he says, has been planned meticulously, right down to the minute. Like, we can't leave our guests sweltering in the heat for hours on end, he warns her. Now, Alliya promises him. She says she promises she won't be late. But minutes later, things begin to go terribly wrong.
Mom? I run out and find that my mom's sprawled out in agony on the floor in the kitchen.
Finding his elderly mum on the floor like that must have been terrifying. In the fall, she's hurt her hip and her leg, but she refuses to go to the doctors. In fact, she insists she's going to be fine by the time the wedding rolls along. But if Shawn hadn't been stressed out before, well, now he definitely is. Now, as for Alliya, well, she's busy getting ready at the venue, but already she's falling behind schedule.
How much time would you say you would need?
I think 1 hour and 30, 2 hours. We have?
No, you don't have.
Yeah, Alliya's timekeeping, everything that Shawn was worried about, is coming to fruition. And you've got to say, it's a good thing that already stressed out Shawn isn't aware of this. Like, he's got enough to worry about. He's got enough on his plate at the moment. Now, thankfully, as Shawn is getting ready, one of his family members helps his mum to get to the venue. And he's just happy to see that she's okay when he arrives. But, of course, understandably, he is still worried. He wants to be on the safe side.
At this point in my mind, I know I just need to have the ceremony happen and then ship my mom to the hospital with whoever will take her and then continue on with the wedding.
Look, I get it. It might not be the most romantic way of looking at things, but I completely understand that he wants to get his mum checked out. But the problem is, if he was hoping to get his mum to a hospital anytime soon, well, that hope quickly disappears. You see, despite all of the promises, Alliya is late. Very late. By the time that she gets dressed, she's an hour behind schedule, and even then, she's in no rush. She's taking her sweet time, and Shawn and all of the guests are beginning to get very frustrated.
Time is going and going and going, and there's still no sign or even word from Alliya.
Oh my God.
I'm over it. I'm no longer sitting.
Look, I get that brides are often a little late. It's a bride's prerogative, right? It's normal. But this late is just insane. All of the guests are boiling away in the heat, and Shawn's mum, bless her, is in pain. I mean, at the very least, Alliya or someone in her party could have just messaged Shawn. They could have sent him an updated time or something, but no, nothing.
And finally, I just said, no. Like, no more. I'm done. Literally, like, no going back done.
Uh-oh, is he leaving?
And with that, Shawn leaves the venue. He's had enough. Yeah, Alliya's going to be in for a massive shock when eventually she does arrive. Now, we're going to cross that bridge, we're going to see that drama next week. But, as it turns out, Shawn and Alliya aren't the only couple where timing is causing major problems. You see, they might not know it yet, but Joan and Greg are also having similar issues. When we catch up with them this episode, the day before their wedding, they're heading out to the house that Greg has rented them for the next few days.
Wow.
Greg will cook this one.
I should have proposed to you right here.
Yeah. That.
They're loving this house, they're loving the rental, right? But more than that, this is also giving them a taste of a potential future together. It's like a glimpse into what their life might be like if they can move out of Greg's mum's house. Now, Greg tells us he's determined to give Joan everything that she's ever wanted. And while their own home might have to wait for the time being, he does have a few surprises up his sleeve for their wedding rehearsal. Like, first off, he's got them both special outfits for the occasion.
You a spin for me?
This
And you got the sandals on. Wow, that looks awesome.
Those look good.
Yeah, you look great, baby.
Thank you.
Not only has Greg surprised Joan with an outfit that will remind her of home, an outfit that he bought in secret that fits her perfectly, but he's also managed to get himself one as well. Now, as his friends and family arrive, it turns out that there are yet more surprises to come. You see, having organised the catering, Greg has arranged for traditional African dishes to be served. Again, it's a really nice touch, and the whole night goes really smoothly. It's a great night. It provides them both the perfect opportunity to thank their friends and family for all of their support. But as the night draws to a close, it turns out there's one more surprise waiting for Joan. What's that, you might ask? Well, African musicians arrive outside, and seeing all of the effort that Greg has gone to for her, Joan is blown away. She's in awe of the man's love for her.
Overwhelmed. I don't know what to say. This day is my best day, I think.
Well done, Greg. Like, he really has done great here, hasn't he? Like, knowing just how sad Joan was not to have her family at her wedding. These little touches, these romantic gestures really go a very long way. So, with a wedding rehearsal like this, tomorrow is gonna be brilliant, right? Right? Well, not so fast. Now, we're gonna get to that shortly, but before we do, can I just please check that you're subscribed? Do me a favour, if you're not, now's the perfect opportunity to hit that subscribe button. Now, when we join Greg and Joan the next morning, the day of their wedding, both are really excited for what's to come.
So today's our wedding day. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm hyped.
I really dreamt for this day. I'm happy and I'm excited to marry my king.
So as Joan heads off to get her hair done, both of them are in perfect happy spirits. Little do they know what's around the corner. You see, as Greg heads home to get a few last-minute things done, he suddenly realises that he's made a huge mistake.
Man.
What happened?
So the arrival time on the invitation is 6:30. The ceremony starts at 6:30.
Yeah, that is a massive up. Greg's error with the invitations means that guests will be arriving at exactly the same time that Joan is meant to be walking down the aisle. I mean, just as I was praising him for doing a good job organising all those extra romantic touches, he's really put his foot in it with this one, hasn't he? Now, the problem is, it's not just as simple as Joan delaying her entrance, right? They can't. They explain that if they were to do that, they'd get charged extra. Money they don't have to spend. And Greg is now distraught. All I wanted, he says, was for everything to be perfect for Joan.
I want to be that man that she knows that she can wake up to and rely on, to just know that I'm dependable and reliable.
Poor Greg, I do feel bad for him. I just really hope that they can find a way to fix this. Maybe, I suspect, maybe he might go cap in hand to the bank of mum and dad again. Now, speaking of his mum and dad, speaking of family, while unfortunately Joan won't have any family members at this wedding, Juan is gonna have his family present. In fact, he's expecting a lot of his family members at his wedding. But damned if you do and damned if you don't, it seems, because who would have thought this is going to cause problems too? You see, when we catch up with Juan and Jessica at their rental accommodation, they're while spending time with Juan's family who have already arrived.
Salud.
Salud.
Bienvenidos.
Chin chin. Huh?
Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos.
The spelling was right in my head.
Having so many of his family members should be a happy time for Juan, but it isn't. Instead, it's serving as a stark reminder of a promise Jessica made to him that she's going to learn Spanish. You see, he wants his baby to also grow up learning to talk Spanish. It'll definitely help if Jessica knows it too, if the baby grows up in a Spanish-speaking household. But, unfortunately, despite her efforts, Jessica's Spanish at the moment is, basic at best.
Dawson, tu gusta? Football. Diddy McGrande.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Jessica is far from fluent. Like, Juan is worried. He's worried that the kids are all just going to end up speaking English to each other. His fear is that his culture, his language, will disappear from their family. I can't accept that, he says. I can't accept a world in which my own son can't communicate with my family, he says.
Before I say the I do's, that has to be fixed. Because I won't marry her if she doesn't speak Spanish.
Now look, don't get me wrong, I understand that Jessica promised to learn, right? I understand that breaking a promise is an issue. But is now really the right time to be raising this? I mean, their wedding is a day away. What exactly is he hoping for here? What, does he expect her to brush up her skills and suddenly become fluent overnight? It just seems like now isn't exactly the right time to raise this with her. But it is weighing on him, so he decides to take Jessica outside and explain to her what's on his mind. Now, Jessica responds to that in exactly the way that you'd expect her to respond. I haven't had time yet, she says to him. I haven't had any free time to dedicate to learning Spanish. What, have you just forgotten that I've single-handedly been raising 3 kids? But the problem is, Juan doesn't accept this. He's not buying that excuse.
You just can't say to your son's culture that you don't have time to learn it, you know.
Jessica is just as confused as I am. Like, what does he expect her to say now? If this was such an issue, why hasn't it been raised before? Now, she does promise him, she tries to appease him by saying she's going to start taking classes. She'll take her efforts to learn Spanish much more seriously going forward. But, again, this isn't enough for Juan. All of a sudden, this promise that Jessica has failed to live up to has suddenly become a massive issue for him. So, given how big of a problem this now seems to be, where does that leave them?
Yeah, you know, we're getting married tomorrow. That's why we're having this conversation, you know.
So it's like a make or break. You learn Spanish or I don't marry you.
Now, Juan goes on to explain that he needs his culture to be part of their marriage, or our marriage isn't going to work, he says. And I understand that. I get that it's important, but the timing of this really does seem peculiar. I mean, you've got to wonder, is this really the issue, or is Juan just getting cold feet here? Is he just looking for an excuse, any excuse, to start a fight and maybe postpone the wedding? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, while Juan might be hiding his true intentions, one person who has no problem saying he's having cold feet is Sarper. You see, after their fight about a prenup, Sarper is now feeling uncertain. He doesn't feel secure in their relationship.
The thing that I so upset is, I mean, do you plan to divorce me in the future?
No, that's not what it's about.
Shekinah says that it's not that she plans on divorcing him in the future. She just wants to protect her assets just in case something happens. Like, he might cheat on me, for example, she says. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Their wedding may only be 4 days away, but clearly they still have a lot of trust issues here. I don't know, like, honestly, with everything that's happened since Sarper's come to the States, maybe marriage isn't the right option for these two. I mean, Sarper is definitely having second thoughts.
I'm saying, okay, we are solving everything, we are in a good way, then something happens. I mean, that prenup thing. The universe is playing with me. The universe knows that I have a phobia of marriage.
Now, while on a call to his family, while he's explaining all of his worries and fears, his cousin asks the question, what happens if you do marry Shekinah and things go wrong? What happens if this is a repeat of your first marriage? Now, I can't lie, that floored me. I don't know if that's something that they mentioned before and I've just forgotten, but like, what the f***? Sarper was married before. How is this only now just being mentioned for the first time, I think?
I was married before when I was 31 years old. And I thought that it would be a great mother for my future children. But as soon as we signed the paper, She changed totally.
So what with Sarper questioning everything, his family questioning everything, and also now thoughts in Sarper's mind that maybe history is repeating itself. Maybe this whole prenup thing is proof that Shekinah is also changing before my very eyes. Sarper's fears and doubts are rising by the second. He's really getting cold feet. In fact, the next time we join them, it's the day before their wedding. And when Shekinah gets out of the shower, Sarper is gone, he's disappeared, he's nowhere to be found. So what does Shekinah do? Well, it turns out she's been tracking him since he arrived in the States.
I put an air tag on Sarper's keychain because if he loses his keys, we need to be able to find them. Where is this?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Shekinah, but no one's buying that. Even she doesn't buy it. She kind of chuckles to herself. Now, when the producer pushes back on this, when he questions her official line, Shekinah is forced to admit that because Sarper refuses to share his location with her, she added the air tag to his keys because, well, now she can track him. The fact that he didn't want to share his location with me, she says, seemed suspicious, so I needed to be able to track him. I mean, like I say, these two really do have a lot of trust issues, don't they? But her sneaky strategy does mean that she can now find Sarper at the coffee shop he's at. Only she might soon wish she hadn't found him.
What are you doing? Why are you here?
I'm so scared, Shekinah,
Scared?
of marriage.
Do you not want to get married?
So they now only have one day to figure out whether or not they're going to get married. I mean, whatever they end up doing, you've got to say, this really doesn't bode too well for their future, does it? Now, on the other end of the spectrum, Mark and Mina do know for sure that they want to get married. But for these two, it's events outside of their control that could destroy everything. You see, when we catch up with them 2 days before their wedding, Mina is nervous.
Stop looking at your phone. I know that today, is the last day. It's the last day, but maybe they are sleeping.
It's crunch time. Today is the very last day that Mina's son, Clayton, can get his passport and still make it to their wedding on time. Like, Mina is a nervous wreck as she waits around for her friend to call and confirm whether or not they got it. Now, this nervous energy isn't doing anyone any favours, right? This is, as I say, beyond their control. So, in a bid to do something a little bit more constructive and productive, Mark and Mina decide to head to their venue in order to finalise things for their wedding. Keep in mind, Mina hasn't yet even seen the venue, so this will be a good distraction.
Maybe this is where we're going to get married.
Yeah. It's very beautiful.
The 10 is cocktail hour, and then over there on the lawn, they'll put the chairs.
This is the perfect venue for their fairy tale wedding. Mark has planned it all, but he's done good. Like, Mina loves it just as much as he does. Now all they need is some good news. If they were to get some good news about Clayton, their day will be perfect. But, unfortunately, it isn't to be. You see, as they head inside to finalise the last decisions, Mina gets the call that she's been dreading.
Je peux pas te dire une bonne nouvelle, donc désolé, il y a mauvaise nouvelle. Franchement, Clayton ne sera pas là, donc il ne peut pas venir aux États-Unis.
This isn't just bad news, it's completely devastating news. There's unfortunately no way, it's impossible that Mina's son is going to be able to make their wedding. But it actually gets worse. You see, poor little Clayton doesn't even know it yet. He's actually got his bags packed. He's ready to go. They now have to tell him that unfortunately he can't come. Like, to say that Mina is destroyed would be an understatement. We know, we can see just how dedicated a mum she is, right? And this news has broken her heart. In fact, not for the first time. She's now questioning whether or not she can even proceed with this wedding without Clayton.
Clayton not coming out for me. I'm not married.
Come on,
no, it's not possible for me.
Mina, come on.
It's a horrible situation to be in. My heart breaks for them. But the truth is, after this episode, every single one of these weddings are in danger. Are any of them gonna tie the knot? Or, more to the point, should any of them tie the knot?